Hello, travelers! If you've been itching for a trip that's a perfect blend of modern cities, historic charm, and picture-perfect countryside, the Netherlands is calling your name. This small country packs a big punch with its iconic windmills, tulip fields, and cozy canals that will sweep you right off your feet. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because I've got a hidden gem lined up that will take your Netherlands adventure to a whole new level. Let's kick things off with the classic, Amsterdam. Yes, you've probably seen it on postcards or heard the stories, but this city has way more layers than people give it credit for. We all know about the canals and museums, but have you ever thought about exploring Amsterdam like a local? Picture this. You're cycling alongside the shimmering canals, dodging the tourist crowds, and discovering tiny cafes where the scent of fresh stroopwafels fills the air. It's way more personal than the usual tourist trail. Of course, we can't talk about Amsterdam without mentioning the Van Gogh Museum. And no, it's not just for art lovers. Van Gogh's life story is woven into his work in such a way that you can't help but feel moved, whether you're an art buff or not. Fun fact, did you know he only sold one painting in his lifetime? Crazy, right? While you're exploring, grab a Dutch pancake, or two. They're not your typical pancakes. They're thinner, crispier, and can be topped with anything from fruit to bacon. They'll fuel you for a full day of wandering. And if you're in the mood for something quirky, stop by the Electric Ladyland Museum. It's a museum entirely dedicated to fluorescent art. Trust me, it's one of the weirdest, most wonderful experiences in the city. Before we move on, a little tip. Don't miss Vondel Park. Locals love it for a reason. Whether you're picnicking, people watching, or catching a live street performance, it's a must-see that gives you a breather from the city's fast pace. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can any city really compare to Amsterdam? The answer? Rotterdam can. And it's not what you'd expect from the Netherlands. Imagine a city that was almost completely destroyed during World War II and then rose from the ashes as a modern marvel. Rotterdam isn't your typical European city filled with cobblestones and old churches. This place is futuristic, and in the best possible way. The first thing that'll grab your attention is the architecture. We're talking the cube houses, buildings that look like they've been turned upside down, and Markthal, a giant horseshoe-shaped food hall that's part farmer's market, part architectural wonder. Inside, you'll find food from every corner of the globe. Picture yourself strolling through rows of vibrant produce, grabbing fresh stroopwafels, and sampling Dutch cheeses. Oh, and look up. The entire ceiling is covered in one of the largest murals in the world, a splash of colors that'll make you stop in your tracks. And while you're here, don't miss the Erasmus Bridge. It's iconic. Whether you're taking a sunset boat tour beneath it or snapping photos from the shore, it's a reminder that Rotterdam is a city of resilience and creativity. Feeling adventurous? Grab a herring from a street vendor. It's a bit of a local delicacy, and while raw fish might sound scary, give it a shot. It's all part of experiencing Rotterdam like a true local. Next, let's dial things down a notch with The Hague. This city gives you a different flavor of the Netherlands, a mix of old-world elegance and beachside fun. Ever wondered where the King of the Netherlands lives? Yep, it's here. The Hague is the country's political hub and the royal family's home, but it's also packed with surprises. One must-see stop is the Mauritshuis Museum, where you'll find iconic works like Vermeer's Girl with a pearl earring. Standing in front of this masterpiece, you can almost feel the centuries of history and the stories these paintings tell. But The Hague isn't all royal buildings and art galleries. Just a short tram ride away is Scheveningen Beach. Yes, you heard that right. The Hague has a beach. Imagine walking barefoot on golden sands, the salty breeze from the North Sea on your face, and the sight of kites soaring above. It's the perfect escape after a day of exploring the city's stately streets. If you're feeling adventurous, try kite surfing or simply relax at one of the beach bars as the sun dips into the horizon. Now, we're headed to a place most tourists don't even think about, Utrecht. If you want the charm of Amsterdam without the crowds, this is the spot. Utrecht's got canals too, but they're different. Here, they're lined with cafes and bars tucked into centuries-old wharf cellars. So while sipping your coffee, you're literally sitting by the water's edge. It's a vibe. The star of the show here is the Dom Tower, the tallest church tower in the Netherlands. If you're up for it, climb the 465 steps to the top, and you'll be rewarded with breathtaking views of the entire city. On a clear day, you can even spot Amsterdam in the distance. While the view is worth it, the climb also gives you a sense of Utrecht's deep history. At one point, this city was a major Roman stronghold, and you can explore some of that ancient history at Domundar, an underground archaeological site. Utrecht's pace is more relaxed than Amsterdam's, making it perfect for a leisurely bike ride or a quiet afternoon stroll through Grift Park, a lovely green space where locals come to unwind. If you're into quirky shops and local crafts, don't miss the Tweenstraat, Utrecht's oldest shopping street. It's packed with unique finds and the kind of hidden gems you can't resist. Okay, now we're venturing into storybook territory with Giethoorn. Imagine a place where there are no roads, just canals. Yep, in Giethoorn, people get around by boat, and the houses are the kind you'd see in a fairy tale, with thatched roofs, flower-filled gardens, and tiny wooden bridges connecting everything. This little village, often called the Venice of the North, is as peaceful as it gets. Rent a boat, or hop on a guided tour, and glide along the canals as you pass postcard-perfect homes and lush greenery. If you're visiting in spring or summer, the entire place is a riot of color, with gardens in full bloom. Now, here's a tip. Giethoorn can get busy during the day, so if you can, stay overnight. Once the day trippers leave, the village quiets down and you'll have the place almost to yourself. It's like stepping back in time to a simpler, slower world. No trip to the Netherlands is complete without seeing its famous tulip fields. And where better to experience that than Keukenhof Gardens? It's like the world's biggest, most vibrant flower show, with millions of tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths blooming in a kaleidoscope of colors. But here's the real secret. The gardens are just the beginning. Rent a bike and ride through the surrounding tulip fields. As far as the eye can see, there's a sea of tulips in every shade imaginable, stretching to the horizon. It's the kind of scene that feels almost surreal. You'll want your camera ready because this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime sights. If you're lucky enough to visit during April or May, you'll catch the fields at their most colorful. But even if you're not visiting in spring, the region around Keukenhof is full of cute little towns and windmills that make for a fantastic day out. All right, I promised you a hidden gem, and here it is, Texel Island. This is where the Netherlands' wild side comes out to play. Just a short ferry ride from the mainland, Texel is the largest of the Wadden Islands, and it's a nature lover's paradise. Picture sandy beaches, rolling dunes, and vast nature reserves teeming with wildlife. On Texel, you can cycle for miles through dunes of Texel National Park, explore the charming villages dotted across the island, or head to the Ecomari Seal Sanctuary, where you can see rescued seals up close. And if you're a foodie, don't miss trying the local Texel Skumkappe beer, brewed right on the island. But what really makes Texel special is its tranquility. Even in peak season, the island feels laid back and peaceful. You can watch the sunset over the North Sea with the sound of waves crashing and the wind in your hair, a perfect ending to your Netherlands adventure. And that's it, folks. A whirlwind tour of the Netherlands, packed with history, culture, and a few surprises. So, which of these amazing places will be your first stop? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on more adventures from around the globe. Tot ziens. See you in the next video.